Well, not necessarily, right? It depends on the program that they have created and how
Okay.
good it is. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So now I'm back to the sim. So don't just discount it because, right? That is not enough of a reason.
Okay.
And we're going to look at 5 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
So,
So this is a benefit where a lot of what I just showed you is going to pop up here with a slightly different analysis, but it'll be pretty good. It'll give, this is what this is for, right? So rather than go, no go, if you've got a sim, pop the sim in here and just get a breakdown. It'll even tell you some of the questions that you should be asking. So we'll give it a little bit to kind of go through it. Okay. And this isn't meant to be an answer to everything. I'm just showing you how you can use this to get your
to,
quick answers and look at it. And now you start to see where the red flags would be. Okay. So, it's investigate. Company growing from here to here, market leader, 5 million, revenue, da da da, breaks it down. The purchase multiple, it's showing as a little bit higher based on that. The 3-year average is lower, right? So that's what we have to look at based on what they're showing. And it's showing you here the red flags, key person dependency. Looks like it's dependent upon this guy um, based on the sim. So it extracted the data out. They're doing a large management salary add back of $513,000. So I didn't even bother seeing that, but it's in there. And what that tells us is they're trying to add this owner's salary back as profit. And I'm sorry, but that's not possible.
okay.
He can add back 350,000 of it, sure, because I need to hire somebody else who's going to replace him. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
This is broker math, right? Business broker math, where they add it back and say, oh, yeah, you can pay yourself whatever you want, but they're inflating the value of the business artificially. And that's what that's showing flat out. And
Okay.
they do it all the time.
So that's a lie, stretching it.
Well, is it a lie? It depends on how they say, well, if this was seller's discretionary earnings, we're going to add it back and you pay yourself, right? But I always go, no, I am not going to run this business. I'm going to hire somebody to run it, which means I have to pay them. Therefore, a portion of that salary must stay in as an expense. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
It is not earnings. That's the bottom line. That's it.
Yes. Right.
It is an expense. It is not earnings. So it cannot be part of the seller discretionary earnings. Yes, sir. Agree.
Okay. Okay. And then it's a contractor heavy model. 49 to 60 employees are contractors, right? So if it depends on how they're classified as 1099 contractors, meaning are we paying to a business or are we paying to an individual? Does the individual work in our office or does the individual work at their home? How
Okay.
is it done? What hours are done, right? So it's a fine line depending upon what state you work on whether or not they turn around and say, oh, no, those are actually employees and you need to pay all the years back taxes on that as employees,
Oh
right?
my
Which would be
goodness.
Social Security, Medicaid, it's all, and then it's a mess. So it's a risk factor that we have to analyze and look at and see. And it also gives you some due diligence questions, right?
Okay.
What's the customer concentration by revenue, right? How will it transition from him as an impact concentration, content creation, brand marketing, right?
Yes, sir.
So he's doing
Valid
a lot
question.
of it, right? So the other statement where you were telling me that he's only in it 4 to 7 hours a week, this is not true. He's already
It's,
telling you based on the sim.
it's incorrect.
Well, this is what they try to tell you, but they wrote it in there and say, well, we told you this, but you have to break it down and look. And this is where this tool and analyzing the sim really, really comes in handy. What's the contractor agreements? We need information on this. And what are the customer retention rates, right? So it's what we
These
call
are
retention
very,
or churn. And are they paying monthly? Are they paying a lump sum and then you deliver over a couple months and then you're done? Is there recurring revenue? We need to know all these things. And again, this is where the profit and loss will come in. Does that make sense?
yes, sir.
Okay. So It just gives you a short, quick, and dirty. It's it's a possibility. You look at some of these expenses. So if he's getting 105, but he added back 513, so it might be for him and the other one. We don't know, right? We're gonna have to figure it out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Revenue trend. So he doubled it from 23 to 24, and looks like he's doing about 50% more in 25. So we got to get the 25 numbers and then look at what is projected for 26.
Yes, sir.
All that,
All of
so,
that. Yep.
okay. So this is where I would recommend when you get a sim, pop it into the sim analyzer and take a look at it.
Yes, sir.
It's not going to
I
be perfect, but it'll give you a good starting point.
I have learned something right now just with you, because this one I would not be able to do it myself. What I just went through with you right now, this gives me a very good overall picture how to analyze a deal actually based on sim.
Yep.
And it's an excellent, as I said, I would not, I would, I did not have this background before, like what I have right now with you. Just going through with you, sir.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad I am helping out. This is my job,
Hey,
right?
thank you, sir. You
That's
have,
why we build all these tools, and my job is to keep you from getting into a bad deal, because then it's hard to
that's
get you out.
that's it, sir. Thank you, sir. So I think I have what I need. I want to go through this, and then
Okay.
when I make the phone call, I want to ensure that I have pretty good things, and I want to tell them, hey, send me the NDA so that I can really ask for the financials, all of that, and we go
Yep.
from there. That's it. This seems like a very good starting point for anything that is available with the SIEM, and
It
and
really
asking,
is.
yeah, and asking price that I feel like, and the rule of thumb, I think those four that you shared with me, those four rule of thumb, those four KPIs with this SIM analyzer, I should be able to, just go from there.
So
All
you
right.
mean these things right here and three,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the debt service coverage ratio, what that means is how how much do you have to pay each for every dollar that you have in? How many times can you service all the debt? We could service the debt 2.46 times. The banks require 1.25. Okay. I look at our minimum, it needs to be at least two. I really want it close to three or better. That's where I really want it. So, purchase multiple, we generally want it under three. Working capital, we generally want 3 months or more in reserve. How much capital we're making, this is doing good. Could the business suffer a 20% loss in revenue in a
That's
quarter? That's what this tells us. We want a 1.5 debt coverage ratio, assuming 20% reduction. Hey, we're still really close to the two minimum that we wanted up here. So we want at least a 1.5, assuming the business went down by 20%. Right. So
Mr.
we're trying to factor in all these things and say, what happens if?
Thank you, sir. I will have more questions on this on these KPIs. Some of the questions, if I can ask you, and if I can clarify myself, I become better next time to do a good job on this deal analysis myself.
Absolutely. I don't expect you to know everything right out of the gate. Nobody does. It's taken me 35 years to figure this stuff out. Okay. You're not going to figure it out in a week, but that's why we partner and we do some of this stuff together so that you don't have to figure it out on your own.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So I appreciate that you don't get upset at my dumb questions because I have a lot of it.
No,
And sometimes,
no dumb questions at all.
thank you, sir. I appreciate this, sir. Thank you so much.